So, hello everyone. Good afternoon, dear authors and invited guests. Welcome to the technical session 6B. My name is Shobhit Pokhriyal, and this session would be moderated by me. On the behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation, this is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the second conference on Information Systems for Business Management, Bangkok, Thailand, ISBM 2023. The second edition of the conference is being organized in a hybrid mode. The physical event was organized in Bangkok, Thailand yesterday, and the virtual event is being held through Zoom yesterday and today, that is 7th and 8th September 2023. This series is organized in extension to ICT 4SD conference series. I hope you'll enjoy and you'll definitely learn a lot in this interactive session through the day. In this session, we have 7 presentations. Please note, in each session, each presenter has been allocated 12 minutes for presentation and questionnaires and answers. It means presenters should finish their presentation in 10 minutes and 2 minutes are there for questionnaires and answers. On the completion of 8 minutes, I'll definitely give a gentle reminder to you all. Well, there's another request to all the participants that you all must stay connected till the closing remarks. If you have any query or update, then you can write it to me in the chat box or to Harsh Sonisan chat box as well. And just before we start the session, I would like to introduce you all to the chair of the session. First up we have is Dr. Nilesh P. Sable. He has overall 15 years of academic experience and presently is working as SPPU approved associate professor in the Department of Information Technology in Vishwakarma Institute of Technology, Information Technology, Pune, India. He has done a PhD in computer science and engineering from Kalinga University, Raipur, on research problem statement, that is study on relationship standard mining calculations in data mining. He is SPPU approved PhD research guide. He has published more than 50 papers in national, international conferences and journals. He has filed and published 14 patents and 3 copyrights. He is the author of a couple of books with an international publisher like Lambert. Hello, sir. Welcome to the session. Kindly address us with a welcome remark.
Thank you, sir. I would like to thank GR Foundation for the opportunity to serve as an session chair for this technical event. Moreover, I will be grateful to have an insight from the rest of the scholars to hear it from them that what exactly the new findings are, so that we can have an insight on the upcoming research concepts. So thank you. Let's go through the session and then we'll have an final words on the session itself.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So next up we have is Dr. Ritu Bhargav. She has over 20 years of experience in teaching and in the field of computer science and engineering. She is the member of Board of Studies in Computer Science at MDS University, Ajmer, Rajasthan, and Board of Studies in Computer Science and Engineering and Information Technology at MJRP University, Jaipur, India. She is a life member of Computer Society of India, member of ACM, that is Association for Computing Machinery, USA, member of IEEE, that is Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineer, USA. She has over 30 papers published in reputed journals, including IEEE and Scopus. Hello, ma'am. Welcome to this session. Kindly address us with the welcome remark. Pardon me, ma'am, but I think you're on mute.
Thank you so much, Shobhit. Good afternoon, everyone, and good afternoon, Sir Popat. And it's always been very nice to chair the session in this international conference, which is organized by GR. So I'm looking forward to some good papers, and all the best to all the participants. We can start our session now.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So let's start on with the papers. And first up we have is Shrikant Mapari, who is going to present his paper on a neural network based framework to recognize the handwritten chemical expression. Sir, are you there in the session?
Yeah, yes, I'm here. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible. Over to you,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. Uh, Good afternoon, all. So myself is Dr. Srikanth Mapari. I am working as an assistant professor in Symbiosis International Deemed University. So just a second, I will share the slides with you. So I'm going to be present my research paper based on the neural network-based framework as a recognition of handwritten chemical reaction. So where we are here, this is my one of the PhD topic, which is I have completed in 2020. Okay. So in this particular paper, we are going to be through this particular agenda, that is introduction, then challenges, objective, scope, literature review, problem definition, proposed framework, result analysis, and conclusion and future work. So introduction, the recognition of handwritten chemical expressions means you have to recognize the entire expression, which may be contain the chemical components, chemical structures, and some operators. So whenever a chemical reaction is going to be written on a paper by using either pen or a pencil, it will be going to be contained the some structures, certain inorganic component, which is maybe the mixture of alphanumerical characters, English characters, and structure basically when there is a component called as a benzene. Organic components are included into the chemistry, then it is having some structures to be there inside the chemical reactions. Okay, so here we have proposed a model or a framework which is based on neural network to recognize such handwritten chemical structures. It is the offline handwritten chemical structures, which is to be written first on a paper by using either pen or pencil. Then the images are get scanned, and then there is a model which is proposed to be run to recognize such chemical expressions. Okay, so this is an example of a chemical expression, how a chemical expression can be look like when you represent it into the paper by using pen or pencil. Okay, so there are a lot of challenges there into the recognition of handwritten chemical structure, that while you are recognizing the organic component, which may be basically contains the structure like a benzene, so there may be probability of having a irregular size, then variable and free handwritten depending on the writers, then shape distortion, random noise, clumsy handwriting. These are the lot of challenges that is to be faced when this particular model has to be proposed, or when this model has to be developed. Yeah. Then the scope of this particular study is to do the existing literature and methodology, what is planning for to be this study, that is studying the existing literature and methodology used for recognition of handwritten chemical expression, then to design the framework based on the artificial neural network to recognize the handwritten chemical expression. These are the objectives of the studies. Then scope means where you can use this particular study that to digitize certain handwritten document, e-learning of examination, automation, education system. If there is a automation auto corrections to be happen, if the paper has written handwritten, then that particular system, maybe the character recognition part is there for English language, but whenever you are going to be autocorrect the chemistry domain paper, then it required to recognize the certain component as well as certain structures which are to be used in a chemical reaction. It can be also used for recognize a certain geometric shape like a hexagon, circle, lines, because they are the part of some chemical structures. Okay, it can be also recognize the chemical expression structure, and then it can be input to a program, a language called as SMILE, which is mostly used for fetching the chemical structures through the certain databases. Okay, so these are the certain scope where this study can be used. Then literature review, I have gone through the lot of paper which is existing for this particular domain. Mostly there is a research going on for the online handwritten recognition, the chemical structure which is written with the help of digital ink, either through a tab or some other platform. Okay, a very few researcher has working on a research which is to be carried out for the offline handwritten recognition, where the first reactions to be written on a paper and then that can be scanned and then that can be recognized. So where I can found certain scope for do the research. Okay. And this is the problem that I address in this particular model, that recognition of handwritten chemical structure, bond and ring benzene for the benzene ring or benzene component. I have taken as one of the component for recognition as a benzene component. And then I try to recognize the benzene structures. Then second problem of a study is to recognize the inorganic symbols, which is represented on paper with the help of alphanumeric characters. Okay, so to do this particular address or provide a solution for that particular two problem, a model is proposed based on the neural network. So first step of that model is that it will be going to be accept a input image, which is a scan image of a handwritten chemical expression as an input. Then it will be a first step, it will be going to be recognize organic structure and symbol. Second step, it is going to be recognize the inorganic formula as an operator. And third and last step, it is going to represent that particular reaction into the text format. Okay, so this is the model step-by-step working. So first step, input is scan images of handwritten chemical expression. So for experiment, I have taken 2,500 images. This data set is collected generally from the reactions which is to be used in a higher education system, 10th and 12th reactions, the chemistry books I have referred and some reactions as identified. Then I have circulated that reaction to different age group, mostly the students. For them, I'm teaching my supporting staff and all other some other people, those who can I found, and then I can told them to write down that reaction onto a pen and paper, and accordingly I have collected the data set. And then I have used that particular data set for recognition. So in pre-processing, it will be have three steps of a pre-processing: binarization, resizing, and skeletonization. So for binarization, the RGB format to be converted into black and white. Then as per the consent of my module, I have stick to the size that it can be have a same size of each and every inputted reaction to the 200 by 500 pixel. And then skeletonization is cleaning process has to be done to remove the extra noise that is to be added in a reaction. Then after skeletonization, the segmentation process has done by using direct boundary techniques. It is to be used for segmenting the different component structures and the characters to be get segmentized. Then whatever the segment array is created, it will be having some features to be identified, geometric feature and some statistical feature is identified, and then it will be going to be extract that particular feature values. It will be used for classifier. RBN FN neural network based classifier is used for classifying the image segment into the two major classes, class A and class B. Class A is represent the image segment which may be possibility have a benzene structure with a different label as a HX for hexagon. If that particular image has a hexagon to be there contained, then it will be labeled as a HX. Then SL for ring, if it has a circle as a benzene ring inner sign of a benzene, or sometimes the benzene can be represented with a slant line and vertical line. So that image segments will be get separated with this RBNF classifier as a part of class A. Then rest of the other segment is indicated as a class B. Maybe they are the possibly the inorganic symbol, and then they are labeled as an IS. Okay, so this identified image segments will be used for recognizing the benzene structure. Means collectively this HX, SL or VL means this image segment can be, if they are occur in a one particular bonding box, then it will represent as a benzene. If a hexagon and a ring is occurring in one particular bonding box, then it will be also a benzene structure. So for that purpose, the algorithm has developed, and that algorithm has used for recognizing the benzene structure. And once that benzene structure is recognized, then it will be converted into its equivalent formula, and then it is stored into some text variable. And then second stage of the experiment is done. Yeah.
So you have exceeded the 8 minutes limit. Yes, sir. So you exceeded the 8 minutes
just
limit.
Two minutes. Yes. 2 minutes. I will conclude. Okay. Yeah. In second half or second experiment, it will be going to be use some geometric feature to again divide the all characters into the three classes, class H, class NH, and class NHL using hop transform. Then for each class, the SVM is trained to identify the individual character. As soon as it identifies the individual character, then it will be converted into text format. This is the result of my work. So this is the first image shows that it will be found the benzene structure. In second, it will be showing converting the character into the some text format. Then this is the entire reaction which is converted into the textual format. Then this is the data analysis, what are the number of samples I have used, and I have the percentage of recognition for individual inorganic and chemical structure and organic chemical structure, and for 110 chemical reactions. So for conclusion, as here I have create a framework to the collected data. Whatever the collected data, it shows a particular promising reason. As it is handwritten written for the 110 chemical reaction, it may be possible that if I increase the data set, maybe the result get down, because there is a very lot of variations in the handwritten. So what are the data set I have is according to these results are reported. Then there is some problem with the destruction, means where the discontinuation. I have handled only the discontinuation of 5 to 10 pixel. If the discontinuation between the two things is more than 10 pixel, then it may or may not be worked this particular model. So that can be as a future work can be taken as to address the discontinuation problem in this particular framework. Okay, so this is the references that I have used. If you have any question, you can. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Nicely presented by you. I just have one question that, yeah, you use the OCR for object recognition, object character recognition, right? Hello?
Yeah, I have used SVM for object character recognition. Hello, am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes, yes.
Hello.
Yes, yes, sir. You're audible.
So I have used so I have used character recognition for inorganic chemical formula.
No, no, no. We are having like, for example, you're doing it for chemical reaction, right? We are having n number of research which are done for recognition of various languages, like Modi language is there, or any sort of language.
Yes, sir.
So what exactly you feel you have
yes.
faced the difficulty in recognition of characters in case of this chemical expression?
The problem is whenever I'm recognizing a character like C, O, which is very nearby. Okay. So that may the problem is sometimes C can be recognized and O, or O can be recognized and C. So I told that if there is a discontinuation in writing of O, so if someone is written O with some discontinuation, then there may be an issue with
But
either
the
it can be identified as a C or identified as an O.
Yes, sir. But the recognition, it falls in the category of OCR itself. How strongly the OCR is implemented in that case, the recognition falls, right?
Yeah.
So
but
now,
I have not used the OCR, means I have used my own model of SVM.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Now for your training and testing purpose, what is size of your data set which you have used for that final? Can you go to the result slide?
70. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. What size of data set you have used? Samples, it is 2,796 written samples are there, right?
96. So, total samples. Out of that, 70% I have used for training, and then remaining 30% for testing.
Okay, fine. That's it from my side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Anything
appreciate
else? Any question?
Dr. Shrikant for presenting
madam.
such an interesting paper. So I would like to ask you, like you have used two algorithms, right? SVM and some other one. So you have implemented it in which, like in which, Pardon?
RBFNN for structure recognition, and SVM
Yeah,
for
right.
RBFNN for structure recognition algorithm.
Right, right. So you have used any analysis tool also?
No, madam. I have not used any analysis tool.
Okay. So any other platform which you have used, like in MATLAB or R or some other Python you
I
have
have
used?
used
OpenCV.
OpenCV and C++.
Okay. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
Thank you so much, sir, for the
yeah.
presentation.
Thank you, man. Yeah, thank you. Thank you to give me the opportunity for presenting.
So next up we have is Ronashai Thipmonta, and he's going to present his paper on innovative applications of management information system for job description at university with text analytics technology. Sir, are you there in the session?
Yes, can
All
you
right.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Over to you, sir.
Did you see my slide?
Yes, it is visible. You may proceed.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Lonachai Timonta from Thailand. Today, I would like to present a research on an innovative application of management information system for job description at university with tech analytic technology. Content to be presented: introduction, research objectives, research methods, research resource, conclusion, limitations. Introduction. Today, government and private sector organizations has realized the significance of integrating information technology into their operations. The use of information technology (IT) in various fields of work to enhance professional skills and abilities, empowering individuals to excel to their roles and promote important career advancement. The University of Payao is committed to supporting the professional growth of its employees within their respective responsibilities. The, use, the University of Payao boasts a significant number of support staff holding prominent positions, demonstrating the institution's success in nurturing talent and promoting career progression. To be eligible for higher positions at the University of Payao, must hold a position name as specified in the university's announcement and align with the guidelines set by the Commission on Civil Service in Higher Education Institutions. According to survey findings, the University of Payao comprises 17 schools and 1 college. Some employees may lack a clear understanding of their duties, and there may be in tasks where tasks are performed without adhering to required standards. The development of a prototype information system that utilizes text mining data analysis technical to support the management of job descriptions for support staff at the University of Payao. This innovative promote a structured work environment, providing valuable insights for employees and management alike, and support the work of support staff at the University of Payao. Research objectives: to develop a prototype of an information system to support the management of job descriptions for support staff at the University of Payao. To evaluate the satisfaction with the model of the job description management information system for support staff at the University of Payao. Research method: the development of a prototype information system to support the management of job descriptions for support staff at the University of Payao. Using system development life cycle (SDLC). Research resource. Let me show you how the system works. Recording daily workload data. User can input or store information about their daily tasks, and responsibilities, allowing them to record their workload data effectively. Analyzing, recording working data. The system includes functionality to analyze the record workload data to assess whether the task performed aligns with the responsibilities specified in the job descriptions for each position. Generating daily working summary report. The system generates daily workload summary reports, offering user an overview of their workload information for a specific day. This report allows user to review and assess their daily performance and productivity. Visual representation with bar graph. The system presents workload information using bar graphs. The visual represents provide a clear and concise view of the task performed, highlighting their alignment with position responsibility. Example of information system prototypes. Figure 1. The user entered the daily workload data in the field provided. Figure 2. The system analyzes whether the record work corresponds to the responsibility specified for the position. Figure 3. Summary of daily workload data and workload analysis resource that correspond to position responsibilities. Figure 4. Display a report that summarize workload data in bar graph format. Resource. I will show you the satisfaction assessments resource of the prototype information system consisting of the prototype system has the desired overall satisfaction level. Looking at each item, it was found that the system's ability to work according to user needs receives the highest mean score. The item relate to the model of the information system, reducing the time required for preparing performance report. Conclusion. Developing to support work with information technology is necessary and important for future intelligent organizations. This research has developed a prototype program as shown in Figure 1 to Figure 4. The simplicity and each of the program results in a high level of satisfaction. Therefore, it is not exaggerated to say that this research deserves to be praised and disseminated for personnel at the University of Phayao and other universities in Thailand for develop it as a model for the potential development of employees in university in Thailand. Limitations. Investment in information technology require the development of hardware and software tools, which require a large budget. Therefore, the University of Phayao administrator expects to continue to be more efficient and continually need to support the budget continuously. While policy making may require a vision of the organization's operations,
So,
university must set guidelines for future practitioners. Thank you
sir.
for your attention.
Oh, all right. No problem.
Yes, sir. Nicely presented. I just have a question that what exactly the innovation is in this work what you have done? Because we are having n number of tools or n number of ERP softwares doing the same thing. So what new you have done in this?
Can you repeat your question again, please?
Yes, we are having number of ERP tools or ERP softwares which lead to the same what we can say same output. So what new you have done in this research?
What we have in this research? That's right. Normally in University of Payao have a paper to promote the employee, and we have a buy ad, very big buy ad from our staff. Then the administration have to order to us to find a way to get the balance for the promote employee. We use tech mining with machine learning to develop an algorithm, and then we use the algorithm to test this application, and we test it with a real person in the University of Payao.
Okay. How you have gone to the what is the quantum of people giving the feedback, which you have stated
Feedback?
satisfactory feedback?
Okay, that's a good question. How to say that? The feedback is from two sides. The first side is from employee feedback that they need more intensive to promote them by take the system to the realistic. But from the top side, we have the policy in the university and from the government to promote the person. We normally to have the prototype to compare to the document and the system for the future, and for the next step, next future research, we try to promote for we have the committee from many university in Thailand to discuss about the system, and then we can pronounce in the maybe in for the government to take it for the any university in Thailand. Maybe it's very contribution for our research.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. If you have any question, please.
Thank you, Ronachai. There's no question from my side. Sir has already
Yes.
asked the same question which I wanted to ask. So
Yes.
no question.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ronachai. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So next up we have is Shukiyat Shai Bonsuri, and he'll present his paper, that is applying quantum computing to the renewable energy stock exchange to reduce the risk of investment. Sir, are you there in the session?
Yes, I hear. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay.
Over
Can
to
I
you.
show? Can I show my slide?
Yes, sir, sure.
Okay.
Over to you.
Okay. Can you see my slide?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. I would like to present the paper. This is my research paper talking about the title, talking about the applying quantum computing to the renewable energy stock exchange to reduce the risk of investment. Okay, this is a contents that I would like to present. Start from motivation, research question, research objective, conceptual framework, numerical result, conclusion, and recommendation. In Thailand, we have a new policy to drive economy after COVID-19 declining. We call the BCG model. Okay, BCG model is come from three ideas. The first idea is circular economy, aim to reusing and recycling resource. And second is bio economy, is from the involves the production of renewable biology. In this part, the Thailand economy need to develop a lot of resources to support the renewable energy. The renewable energy is one part important in the bioeconomy. And the third part is green economy. Green economy is determined to keep economy, society, and environment in balance, lead to sustainable development. This is the main idea for Thai economy in the future. This is a very important to focus on the renewable energy. It's one part of Thai policy to drive economy in the future. If look at some data in Thailand energy now, we use the renewable energy is approximately 14% or 15% of the whole energy in Thailand. In the future, we hope that, and we try to the economy of Thailand or the government of Thailand try to drive renewable energy such as solar capacity, solar generation, biomass capacity, biomass, and waste generation. We will see that is going up. The trend is increased every year. This is important for Thai economy, especially for the renewable energy. We use the renewable energy more and more in the future. And in terms of the projection, install a renewable electricity generation capacity for worldwide from 2020 and 2015 by the sources. We can see that the renewable energy is higher demand in every year, especially in the hydro energy, wind energy, solar energy, so on. This is important for the future to use the renewable energy of our world. In this study, we focus on the largest renewable energy company in the world. This research tried to bring all of company here, at least 8 company forms the largest renewable energy company to analyze or to see the what is going on, how we can, if we want to investment in those of the company there, how we can manage the risk by the quantum mechanics idea. The research question is important is, can we utilize the quantum theory applied in renewable energy stock market? If it's possible, the one method represent the came from the quantum mechanics is the Hamiltonian Monte Carlo simulation. In Hamiltonian Monte Carlo simulation is very efficiency approach for the simulate some data. For example, we use this to simulate the stock price in those of the company, renewable energy company, and then put it in the survival function. And after that, we will see that the risk of investing renewable energy stock, how we can manage or how we can reduce the risk. And the objective of study is focused on the to assess the risk of investigating in renewable energy stock. And this is concept framework and model of estimation. The figures show that we can start from the renewable energy stock, and then we simulate by the HMC, Hamiltonian Monte Carlo simulation, and then plug it in the survival function. After we plug in survival function, we calculate the low survival function and high survival function. If we can separate the two, the stock price or the two stock of the company, and then we can manage how long we invest money in some company there to save or to avoid the risk, to manage the risk. Okay, if you look at the two line over here, the red line and green line, the red line and green line represent the survival function. If the survival function is higher than another, it means this is a longer investment, is very safe. It means that it can avoid the risk of the investment. And then this is a egg stock from the renewable company that try to estimate or that try to measure or that try to reduce the risk when we want to investment in those company here. And then come back to the Hamiltonian Monte Carlo simulation. In Hamiltonian Monte Carlo simulation is very efficiency more than metropolis hedging. In this case, we call the classic MCMC. HMC is very more efficiency. If you look at the figure here, you can see that we simulate the same state. It means 1 state until 50 state from the HMC or Hamiltonian Monte Carlo simulation. The simulation from this method can cover every data over here, but in MCMC and metropolis hedging, it just cover not all if you compare between two figures. And this is a very useful in terms of the Hamiltonian Monte Carlo simulation. In Hamiltonian Monte Carlo simulation started from the Schrödinger equation. Schrödinger equation is one important equation in quantum mechanics or quantum theory. We start from the this idea from the Schrödinger and apply in the Hamiltonian Monte Carlo simulation, and then set the data. Yes, sir.
So this is an 8 minutes completion reminder.
Thank you. We send the data to the survival function, and then we compare between those of the stock between among of the company, renewable company, energy company. And then this is a data show empirical result from descriptive statistics of the data over here, 8 company here. And then after that, show again in this survival function. The survival function here is based on the Hamiltonian Monte Carlo simulation. If compared to stock company of renewable company, you can see that in NEE, I will show shortly. NEE is can holding the stock longer than the IBDRY. This is a very good for investor to invest the money. If you invest money in NEE, it's longer. It means you can take risk or you can avoid the risk more than you holding the IBDRY. This is the name of company. I use all of the company here to compare between those of them, and can find that the conclusion here. The quantum mechanics theory for Hamiltonian Monte Carlo simulation method is more high potential, especially outperform the classical macro Monte Carlo or MCMC simulation. Because of many agencies around the world, especially in European Environment Agency, mentioned that the future energy use must be important, especially in the renewable energy, and suggest that from this research suggests that the renewable energy stock from the company IBDRY, NEE, CSIQ, CWEN can holding for the long term. If you can holding for the long term, and it can make the profits, maximum profit, maybe 1 year, more than 10 months or 1 year. And another result we got from the research is we have the 4 company as well that is for short run investment to make a profit. It can make a profit. It means if you hold more than that, you can lose the money from four stock company here. And this finally, this research can confirm that SCM, is mean Hamiltonian Monte Carlo simulation, is very useful for the to reduce the risk from investment, to protect the risk of the portfolio if we want to use this idea to invest the money in the renewable energy company in the future. This is my presentation. Thank you very much. Yes, please. I'm finished.
Yes,
Thank you much.
Thank you, sir.
This is
It
time.
was really a nice presentation, and the work done is reflected so nicely in your presentation slides. So, just for the sake of this, which parameters you have considered for what we can say for analyzing that whether the risk appears to invest in this area?
I focus on the survival function, sir.
Survival
If
function.
this, survival function. If you have long-term survival function, it means you can holding the stock of renewable company more than. If the survival function is show you can for example, if the survival function present the short run investment, it means that we need to holding a short time for those of company. If the survival function show that you can holding the stock more longer and longer, it means that okay, you can holding this stock more and more in longer and longer, and still make a maximum profit.
Okay. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Shuket. It's a
Yes, sir.
wonderful presentation you have delivered. I just have one question with you. Like, while collecting the data, what are the limitations you have faced, and how you have handled it?
Okay, the limitation of this research project is look like the quantum computer, because here I use the Hamiltonian Monte Carlo simulation, but based on the classical computer.
Right.
If I can use the quantum computer, it means hardware. Okay, the Hamiltonian Monte Carlo simulation is work very well if we use the quantum computer. It means the hardware. In software, it's okay. In software, it's from the quantum mechanic idea, because developed from the Schrödinger equation. And but in the limitation, it's a hardware. Sir.
So limitations are there now.
Hardware is mean quantum computer. We cannot easy use, because now we can use quantum computer by access maybe some company they around us to practice or to use is not much. It's just limit of the qubit that we can use. But the idea is mean that if the Hamiltonian, in terms of the theory, Hamiltonian Monte Carlo simulation is it can overcome many simulation. For example, MCMC simulation, Hamiltonian Monte Carlo simulation is best. And the problem is we need to use this idea in the quantum computer. But here I simulate by the classical computer. It's not the real. But in the theory, it's very useful. But in practically, we need to develop. If we can develop the quantum computer more, and this simulation is very, very smooth than before, than the previous simulation technique.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the presentation.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Can I stop? Right?
Yes. So next up we have is Muruganantham Ponuswamy, and he is going to present his paper, that is, do incubation at educational institutions stimulates student entrepreneurial competency and paves the path to the innovative enterprise and exploratory research. So, are you there in the session? Muruganantham Ponuswamy sir, are you there in the session? Harsh sir, is he there in the session?
Yes, he is here. I think so.
Okay.
Just a second. Oh, he left. Just a left. Do one thing, Shobit, you can just go ahead with the next one, and we'll conduct his presentation after this.
All right, sir. So, going further, we have Shaji Joseph to present his paper on Does Sustainable Label Add Value to You? Purchase Behavior Through the Lens of the Theory of Consumption Values. Sir, are you there in the session?
Yes, sir, we are there.
All right.
I don't know, I'm not able to share.
Sir, try once.
So, is my PPT visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay, thank you. This is Shaji, and my colleague Kanchan Patil is also with me. So thank you, ISBM, for accepting our paper and giving an opportunity to make this presentation. So the topic of our presentation is, does sustainable label add value? Over the years, what has happened is that in India, the concept of when purchase decision is always been decided by the cost factor, what is the cheapest product, that is to be something that dominated the middle class value system when it comes to making any purchase decisions. This sustainable purchase is something that has not been a very popular thing in India, which has become slowly, it's emerging in Indian market. There are certain sections in the society, certain urban sections, people have moved to become more sustainable. So the research was to understand what is that motivates people to move towards the sustainable purchase. So the abstract of this is an empirical paper that we conducted to understand the people's perception about sustainable purchase decisions. And the abstract, I'll read it out. So the study explores the factors that affects consumers' choice behavior when purchasing products with sustainable eco labels through the lens of theory of consumption value. This is something that we have added. The underpinning theory is this that we used. It also looks at whether there are any appreciable variance in consumption values and choices among consumers with various levels of sustainable eco-label awareness and consumer innovativeness. So that's how that we wanted to study. We used a structural equation modeling on the data that we collected. Some of the findings that we came across was to study the emotional, social, and epistemic values rather than the functional and conditional values of the TCV, that the theory of consumption value, seems to be more prominent when it comes to making decisions. So as I was telling, the country is slowly moving towards becoming more sustainable in its purchasing decision. And it is also understood that unless and until the consumers, the people at the end users of the product decides to buy things that are sustainable, the entire industry cannot move to become sustainable. The nation cannot become sustainable. So as we are talking about SDG goal attainment by 2030, it's very important to create an awareness among the people. So towards becoming more sustainable oriented consumption. Now, this paper was to understand the awareness, the level of awareness among the people. So there are 4 constructs that we studied in this paper. So one was the increased awareness of the sustainable labels in India. The other was, let's say, the purchasing decision, whether these labels lead to a purchasing decision. The third was consumer innovativeness. Are consumers innovative to, or are they risk-taking to go into a new area to find out whether a sustainable product makes sense or not? And then the fourth theoretical constructions we used was the underpinning theory, the theory of consumption values. Now, the research objective that we had was to understand the variable, to identify the variables that affects consumer behavior in the milieu of sustainability by studying the relationship between consumer innovativeness, awareness, consumption values, and sustainable eco-labels. To examine the analysis and analyze how customer innovativeness and sustainable eco-label awareness affect their decisions in purchasing goods that feature sustainable eco-labels. So underpinning theory, as I said, we use the theory of consumption value. It talks about 5 values: the functional value, the conditional value, the emotional value, social value, and the epistemic value. Generally, what is understood was the functional value was more prominent while making decisions when it comes to making any purchase decision. However, when it comes to this sustainable purchase, we found in the research, the functional value is not that important. It is more about the emotional, social, and epistemic value that are more prominent in this particular process. So we did a literature review. We did extensive research to understand the theory of consumption value, wherein the originators of the theory was the Jagdish Sheth and his compatriots in 1991. They mainly talks about 3 factors that defines this theory. So why customers choose certain products, the reasons why consumers choose one product over the other, and 3, the reasons why consumers like specific brands. Now, they identified these 5 values that makes this difference. Going to the next one, consumer innovativeness. We found that a lot of research being conducted in this particular area. Why and what makes people move to become more innovative when it comes to making sustainable purchase. The third constructs that we studied was sustainable label awareness. We found that in the Indian context, purchase of electronic goods, agri products like food, there's a lot of label awareness that existing. We also found among the millennials, this awareness is much higher than the others. Going to eco-label sustainable product purchase, yes, there is slowly a movement, but this is something that a lot more to go. So Maheshwari highlights the successful campaign by the markets to bring more focus and awareness to green labels, favorably impacting the purchasing pattern of Indian consumers. So there is a movement, but it's not sufficient yet. So based on these things, we came out with this theoretical construct. We have 4 factors: sustainable label awareness, consumer innovativeness, theory of consumption values, and choice, the behavior. So this is the theoretical model that we came out with. And based on that, we came out with this hypothesis, which was tested in using the structural equation model. So the rest of the paper, my colleague will be completing. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So we followed an empirical research. We collected primary data. So we designed a structured questionnaire to gather the primary data from the consumers. We ensured that the consumers are having knowledge about the sustainability and the environment. So we followed non-probabilistic purposive sampling, and we collected 356 responses. The questionnaire which we designed was using the adapted scale. So we had 38 questions which were measured on a 7-point Likert scale, and all the constructs which were measured were adapted from the previous well-established research papers. the references for the same is been given. Yeah.
This is a 8-minute completion reminder. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So we used Smart PLS for doing the data analysis of the primary data which we collected. We followed structural equation modeling. So the outcome of the Smart PLS, we did measurement model analysis and the structural model analysis. As shown in the table 1, the measurement model shows the Cronbach alpha composite reliability values and the average variance extracted. So all these particular measurements are into the required benchmarks. So the Cronbach alpha was more than 0.7. The composite reliability again was ensured to be more than 0.7. Average variance extracted for all the constructs was more than 0.5. The structural model analysis is shown in table 2. So all the hypotheses which we proposed have been tested, and as shown in the table 2, only 2 hypotheses are rejected. That is the functional value and the conditional value impact on the product purchase has been rejected. All the remaining hypotheses were accepted. So coming to the results and the discussion, the convergent validity and the discriminant validity of the model was examined using the variance-based structural equation modeling. The endogenous construct, that is the R-square value, is shown in as mentioned, for 45.1% for the sustainable eco-label product purchase, 36.8% for the functional value, 47.8% for the emotional value, 39.5% for the social value, and 21.5% for the conditional value, 37.8% for the epistemic value. So these are the explained variances from the consumer awareness and consumer innovativeness. So the author has have examined 8 construct relationship, and as mentioned, only the functional value and the conditional value were rejected. Consumer innovativeness and consumer sustainable label awareness positively influence the consumption value for the sustainable eco-labeled product. Consumption value consisted of functional value, social value, emotional value, conditional value, and epistemic value. Our research has strong theoretical contribution, practical contribution, as well as social implications. So as far as the theoretical contribution is, we have used theory of consumption values in the context of the sustainable labels, and we have expanded this particular theory. So as the theoretical contributions go, emotional, social, and epistemic values have come significant in our study. So people have pride, guilt as the most 2 important emotions when they are going to do the sustainable consumptions. People purchase sustainable brands because that are fashionable, they are current in the society. Also, there is an increased awareness regarding the importance of the sustainability. Practical implications, the concerned efforts in the wake of SDGs and G20 meets, there is a lot of stress given to sustainability. Consumers are slowly becoming aware of these sustainable values. However, as the research has indicated that the functional value and the conditional values were not significant, the marketing managers should work towards this, improving the functional value by improving the product features, as well as the conditional values could be given importance, that is specific circumstances which give importance to the eco-label product purchase, they should be thought about. Social implications, yes, of course, green consumption is an important aspect. India has made a number of nationally determined contribution at UN General Assembly as a part of its commitment towards SDGs. The onus of fulfilling those NDCs is on the people of the country, the consumers. So there is a need for more awareness creation to make the masses choose sustainable products. Coming to the final conclusion and the future scope, this research paper observed that the consumer's emotional, social, and epistemic values have started to impact the consumers positively to make product purchase. However, majority population is still looking for the cost and convenience. The research also observed that both consumer awareness and consumer innovativeness towards the sustainable consumption is positively impacting the purchase decisions. The years of efforts through education and media has sowed the seed of sustainable value in the minds of the people. So in the further research, schools should emphasize onto teaching the practical implications of sustainable purchase through more experiential learning projects. Media should utilize the popular figures to popularize sustainability. Business organizations should innovate to bring the sustainable products to masses. And if companies should use the concept of bottom-up pyramid, what by C.K. Prahlad, to bring the differentiated products to the masses, and companies can definitely make the sustainable products more affordable for the masses. Coming to the selected references, these are the selected references. Thank you very much. We are open for the questions. Stop sharing, sir. No.
No questions from my side. Any question?
Yeah, congratulations, Shazi, and both of you. Indeed, it's a very impressive presentation. I just wanted to know, like, is there any specific factors you have included within this emotional and your social and epistemic for the consumer's choice? Any specific factor is there?
Ma'am, we had used the adapted scale. So, so directly we measured these 5 values: epistemic value, social value, emotional value, functional value, and conditional value. So there are standard scales to measure these values, which we adapted from the previous research papers, which allowed us to understand what are the important values when product choices are concerned, and specifically related to the sustainability. Also, for innovativeness and consumer awareness, we have used the specific items which were used in the previous research papers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this.
Thank you.
So this is again call out for Muruganantham Ponuswamy. Sir, are you here in the session?
Yeah, I am here. Sorry.
All right, sir. Kindly share your screen and over to you now.
Thank you. Am I audible and my screen is visible to you?
Yes, sir. Totally.
Thank you. Thank you, ISBM, for giving me an opportunity to present my small research on do incubation at educational institution stimulates students' entrepreneurial competency and paves the way to the innovative enterprises. Yes, if you are looking the current scenario, specifically in our country, the government came up with a decision that the Make in India, Startup India. So when we have such kind of things, we started thinking of making a research and study in this particular point. So this session, I am going to cover this objective methodology, analysis and interpretation, findings and discussions, of course, the conclusions. Within the short period of time, I will try to complete the entire thing. As I said, the objective is to identify the impact of incubation centers as an entrepreneurial competency and entrepreneurship. Second one, investigate the opinion on the presence of incubation centers in the educational institutions, specifically in the remote areas. And the thirdly, important stimulus made by incubation centers on the students. When we thought of doing this research, we took the current state of my own state, Tamil Nadu, where we found 13 educational institutions with incubation centers identified for taking these surveys by involving the students, around 500 numbers. We taken the methodology as a descriptive research design. In this, as we know, the practitioners always agree that the entrepreneurship education alone is insufficient to develop students' entrepreneurial skills and talents. Definitely, it is required the additional skills so that we thought of doing some literature survey review of literature. If you are looking the last 1 decade, the literature on entrepreneurial education has grown significantly. Just as the incidence of entrepreneurship education has increased dramatically. The nature of entrepreneurship education and the entrepreneurial outcomes are the two key focus which we found from lot of literature surveys, so that we took this decision to adopt the methodology as a descriptive research science. For this particular study, as I said, the descriptive research design was adopted. The study area covers the region of southern India, that is Tamil Nadu, Chennai region. For this purpose, as I said, 13 educational institutions with incubation centers were identified, and from which around 500 students who have visited incubation center frequently in their home institutions were considered as samples using a simple random sampling technique. The data were collected using a questionnaire through an online platform and structured interviews also. When we say the analysis and interpretation, the reliability statistics is shown by using this Cronbach alpha values as well as the number of items. The estimated Cronbach alpha value came as 0.786, which is greater than 0.7, that is a standard value, meaning the construct name impact of incubation center on entrepreneurial competency and entrepreneurship is reliable and has a significant amount of internal consistency. Since the time is less on the screen presentation, I am not showing the entire data, which is collected from around 500, that is 427 students. Second thing, the demographic profile. When we say the 427 samples considered, among which 207 were male and 220 were female students belonging to various disciplines such as arts and science, engineering, of course, medical also. Here you may think of the question, what is the need of medical to include in this entrepreneurship? Yes, it is also upcoming because of the interdisciplinary branch of engineering studies throughout the world. Further, out of 427 samples, 121 samples were considered to from universities, 152 samples from government-aided colleges, 154 from the autonomous colleges. And we didn't leave any of the type of institutions or type of the stakeholders here. So the analysis carried to identify whether there is a significant difference in opinion among the students for impact of incubation center or on entrepreneurship competency and entrepreneurship. Second thing, we use this multivariate test for this purpose. The estimate Pillai-Strace statistics significant value are greater than 0.05 for all the cases, meaning the null hypothesis is accepted. Therefore, there is no significant difference in opinion among the students for the impact of the incubation center on entrepreneurial competency and entrepreneurship. Having found that there is no significant difference in opinion among the students for the impact, as well as the other factors also considered. Again, the questionnaire played a major role in our study of this particular item. Then we done that rank analysis. When we gone for that rank analysis, the impact of incubation alone become 4.183 factor. And the competency become the first rank. From the rank analysis, which used for making the main score, it was found that visiting incubation center generates new idea for existing business to students. Further, it was found that visiting incubation center is inculcating a thought of being an entrepreneur rather than a job seeker. Also, incubation centers are providing indirect monitoring and mentoring for startups. Furthermore, the incubation centers in educational institutions are stimulating students to be an entrepreneur And incubation centers are providing an opportunity for networking to students. Overall, the presence of incubation in the educational institution is found to increase the entrepreneurial competency of the students. Then the analysis taken in the regression way, regression analysis also taken by using the method R and R square. Of course, ANOVA also we done. The estimated correlation value, that is R value, is 0.817, meaning the variables impact of incubation, business, enterprise, startup, and entrepreneurial competency as an 81.7% relationship. The further calculated R square value comes as 0.667, which is greater than the standard value of 0.6. Therefore, the forecasting accuracy of the model equation is 66.7% accurate. Also, the ANOVA significant value is less than 0.05. This indicates the model is fit. Furthermore, the coefficient significant value are calculated to be less than 0.05 for all the independent variables, meaning the incubation center has a significant influence on entrepreneurial competency and entrepreneurship. That is a business enterprise startup. So the request, yeah.
So this is a reminder for 8 minutes completion.
Yes, I will complete it.
Yes.
So the regression equation which we used for this impact of incubation is 1.495 addition to 0.421 times of entrepreneurial competency plus 0.208 percentage of business enterprises startup. So this analysis, we used the proposed path model as a regression estimates proposed path model I showed on the screen, and the weightage given like this. So the conclusion, it is suggested to every educational institute to create an incubation center or to make the students visit incubation center in their nearby vicinity to perceive the existing business environment. Further interaction with incubation entrepreneurs, lectures on entrepreneurship and assistance to students to conduct business in educational institute incubation centers would increase entrepreneurs to a significant amount. Also, it is the responsibility of the educational institute to support innovative business, especially among students, by helping them attain patents, copyright, trademark, and other company registration procedures to motivate students who initiated innovative business and other existing students to become up with more innovative products and services for the welfare and betterment of society. And these are all few references which we referred for this small research. Thank you. Over to the coordinator.
Sir, this is totally based on the reviews given by student, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So can you go to the fourth slide where you have what we can say bifurcated it into universities and all that things? Yes, here it is. Male, female, and that.
Yeah.
Yes, this one. So now you are having some distinctions in your educational institutes like universities. There, aided is there, autonomous is there. Yeah. So have you find some sort of conflict of votes of student in these cases? Because incubation center in case of aided one, they are quite functional one. From means
you are perfect. I got your point. You are perfect. So
yes.
When we gone to arts and science colleges, we found some difficulty because their nature of doing business, their expectation of doing business is totally different from these autonomous colleges of engineering. I am talking about 2-3 different type of education: arts and science, engineering, and medical.
Right.
As you mentioned, this is typically different from male, female also. Yes. Because when we chosen these 13 institutions in the Chennai region, a few institution students are mostly from the remote area of the state or the country.
Okay.
And specifically, yes, I don't know, since it is a research forum, I can tell, we didn't reveal the data, one more data which is related with the religion also we taken.
Okay. Okay.
Right. Since you asked the question related with male, female, gender issue, I am saying this.
Yes.
Yes,
No,
yes,
the
this
question
kind of-
it is what if you are having incubation center and they are functional at university level or aided college level, means they are what we can say we are having the utilities or the amenities which are provided. They are at full fledged. But if you go to the private sector colleges and have an what we can say insight from the student, means there could be a change of opinion in the mind of student that whether incubation is functional or non-functional.
Again, you are perfect. I will put one more answer for this, which I am not described here. Yes, when we look up the touch time of the or visiting time of the or utilizing time of the incubation center of such universities and the so-called aided colleges. Yes, there are some discrepancies are there.
Okay, fine.
But it can be corrected only by doing rigorous work.
Yes, yes. Involvement should be there, so only it can be done.
But fortunately, when we taken that survey in medical, right, the students and the faculty in the medical university are much interested to make tie up with this engineering institute for their startups.
No, we now as we fall in engineering domain itself, we too are interested in having a data from medical so that we can have refinement now and give them some sort of prediction and prevention sort of things.
But when you look up this autonomous institute, those people are all already inculcated this technology in their core engineering branch itself.
Yes, yes.
So they are not finding difficulty. Even autonomous institutions are having better performance than this aided institutes.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah, no, there's no question from my side.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the presentation.
Thank you.
So next up we have is Thi Thu Han Nguyen, who is going to present her paper on factors influencing the performance of coffee supplying chain, the case study of Vietnam. Ma'am, are you there in the session?
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to present my research paper. So I will start sharing my presentation. Do you see my presentation?
Yes, yes, it is visible.
Thank you. Today, I would like to present my research paper on factors influencing the performance of the coffee supply chain, the case study of Vietnam. My name is Han. I come from Vietnam. My presentation has 4 parts. First, I will begin with introduction. Then I will show you my methodology. After that, I will discuss the results. And I will finish with conclusion. As we know, there is growing attention to the agricultural supply chains, and Vietnam is the second biggest coffee production in the world and is the largest coffee producer in Asia and Oceania. And there have been several studies on the coffee supply chain. First, a last of research has focused on the performance of Vietnam's coffee supply chain. So my research paper would like to fill the gap and also investigate the factor that impacts on the performance of coffee supply chain of Vietnam. And then I will propose the solution to improve the effective coffee supply chain in Vietnam. And in my study, I will employ online survey and personal interview in summer of 2022, and I will focus on farmer, trader, and coffee company because they are the key supply chain members. And the content of the survey focus on characteristics of respondents and the main processes of score and opinions of respondents because there are many definitions of supply chain management and supply chain process. So I will based on score model. They define supply chain include they define supply chain processes include planning, sourcing, making, deliver, and return. So I will show you the main step of the questionnaire design progress. So after launch survey, we the study collected 60 coffee farmer, 20 trader, and 10 coffee company, and we use the SDSS version 20 to analyze the data. So I will show you the result. So the first I will show you the description of statistics of farmer. So as you see in table 2, you can see most of farmers are middle age, about 40 years old, and they have more than 12 years of blending coffee. So, and the coffee tree is 12 more than 12 years of coffee tree, and the coffee area of farmer is small, just around 2 hectares. And you can see the coffee the coffee is the coffee income is the main source of coffee farmer, account for 70%. And next for trader, you can see the age for trader is also middle age, with for about 43 years old. And you can and they have like more than 7 years for collecting the coffee. And about the company, so in Vietnam, so most of coffee companies are small, and as you can see, more than 80% of coffee company have the shelf value fewer 1.6 million US dollars, and most of respondents are five directors, so they understand well about the operation and the activity of company, and they have the work experience more than 5 years. So after conduct the survey and interview, we identified the 4 factors that influence the performance of coffee supply chain. They include production costs, logistics costs, information technology, and policy of government. First, for production costs, because if we can decrease the production cost, we can increase the profit of the coffee grower farmer. And fertilizer and labor are the main production costs for farmer. And the second, the logistics cost. The logistics cost is account is very logistics cost because because most of coffee they blend in the highlands, in the central highlands of Vietnam, and also in the mountain. So the transportation and deliver the coffee from the farmer to trader and to the company will take the high cost. And logistics costs were mainly due to transportation and storage. And a counter survey, we found that the phone and face-to-face are the primary means of communication among farmer, trader, and company. So lots of like information, software and application to improve the communication and support the communication between the company and farmer. And the last policy of government, because the coffee contributes significant to the GDP of Vietnam. So and the coffee is the main source of the small farmer. So that's why the government should pay more attention to the development of the coffee. So that's why and the government can provide some financial support to improve the infrastructure and logistics facility and production facilities to improve the performance of the coffee supply chain. And this is my conclusion. So in this paper, identify the key factors that impact the coffee supply chain performance using an online survey and personal interview. And we identify four key factors that include production cost, logistics cost, information technology, and government role. And this paper is the first paper that's investigating the factor impacting Vietnam's coffee supply chain performance. I also propose some solution to improve the performance of coffee supply chain of Vietnam. First, we should improve the communication between supply chain members. So the company and the government can employ the and develop the information application to improve the communication to help the farmer and the company react quickly to market changes and can discuss about the any issue and bottleneck of supply chain. And the second is we should improve the coffee growers and farm awareness and qualification. So we can organize the training course to train farmer about the new technique and new way to and new sustainable way to plant the coffee tree and to reduce the production cost and train them how to use the new information technique and application for communicate. And also the government should release and issue the policy supporting supply chain members cooperation and investment in building facility for preservation, processing, and marketing, and also the transportation to reduce the logistic costs and improve the communication between the supply chain member. Thank you so much for listening. Do you have any question?
No questions from my side.
Thitui, it's a nice presentation, but I also don't have any question from your side. Keep it up.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the presentation.
Thank you. So I will stop sharing. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Thank you.
So next up we have is Marcus Aho to present his paper on strategies and practices for maintaining marketing situational awareness in micro enterprises in the well-being industry in South Savonia, Finland case study. Sir, are you there in the session?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Over to you, sir.
Okay, I can share my screen. Can you see the presentation?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Excellent, excellent. So my topic is strategies and practices for maintaining marketing situational awareness in microenterprises in well-being industry in South Savonia, Finland, and it was a case study. I'm very glad to join this World Conference on Information System for Business Management. Thank you. And I will start on introduction part. The case study was focused on strategies and practices for maintaining marketing situation awareness in microenterprises within well-being industry in South Savonia, Finland. Marketing situational awareness is crucial for success for small businesses in understanding market dynamics, customer needs, and competitive landscapes. Situational awareness (SA) can be taught as an internalized mental model of current states of operators' environment. In this concept, marketing situational awareness refers to companies' ability to monitor and understand changes in the market, competition, customer needs, and trends. By having a deep understanding of where they stand in the market, marketers can identify opportunities and potential threats. Overall, marketing situational awareness is essential for marketers to navigate the dynamic and complex marketing landscape. It enhances the ability to make informed decisions, seize opportunities, mitigate risks, and stay ahead of the competition. This case study examines various approaches employed by microenterprises in South Savonia for maintaining marketing situational awareness and presents practical examples of companies that have effectively implemented of these strategies. And this paper makes contributions in several areas related to marketing situational awareness in small and medium-sized enterprises operating in well-being sector. Firstly, it sheds light on how these SMEs effectively manage their marketing situation awareness, providing valuable insights into their practices and strategies. Secondly, it highlights the challenges and difficulties that well-being organizations may face in maintaining marketing situation awareness, offering important information for practitioners in the industry. Lastly, it delves into exploring specific strategies and practices that microenterprises in the well-being industry in South Savonia employ to sustain their marketing situational awareness. Research objectives of this case study was following: to examine the approaches employed by microenterprises in South Savonia to maintain marketing situational awareness. And secondly, to present practical examples of microenterprises that have effectively implemented strategies for maintaining marketing situational awareness. And thirdly, contribute the understanding of marketing situational awareness in small and medium-sized enterprises operating in well-being sector. Research questions was the following. How do organizations maintain the situational awareness of their marketing efforts? Secondly, how do organizations measure the impact of marketing activities and evaluate their effectiveness? What are the key challenges that organizations may face in marketing, and what strategies and approaches do organizations employ to address challenges encountered in marketing? Couple of words about the research design. Rationale for selecting case study approach lies the ability to provide detailed and context-specific information by examining real-world cases. This research design allows for holistic understanding for the research problem with the national setting. The multi-case structure further enhances the robustness of the findings by comparing and contrasting multiple cases, enable a deeper exploration of patterns, variations, and themes across different contexts. Study employed case study research approach with focus on 6 microenterprise organizations in well-being sector located in southern Savonia. These organizations operate in the service industry and were specifically chosen for their participation in this research voluntarily. The rationale for selecting case study approach with multiple cases was provide a deeper understanding of needs and practices microentrepreneurs in the well-being sector. Selection of these 6 microenterprise organizations in well-being sector was based on their relevance to the topic and their potential to provide valuable insights. A couple of words about data collection. We have approached multiple sources of evidence, and the study collect data for multiple sources within the case organization over 3 months period, April to July. The authors were involved in consulting and documenting the case study findings, captured data. The data collection process for this study involved employing comprehensive range of methods, gathering information for multiple sources with the case study organization. Firstly, documentation researchers obtain access relevant documents such as business strategy, business plans, reports on digital marketing maturity tests. Throughout these documents gather insights in the case organization strategies, plans, and digital marketing capabilities. Archival records. The researchers analyzed websites, social media analytics, data records, sources like Meta, Google Analytics, and these records provide valuable information about online presence, user engagement, digital marketing performance, and case organizations. Interviews and discussions. Researchers conducted discussions and interviews with managers and employees for case organizations. These interactions were conducted through various means such as online meetings, Teams, phone calls, and emails. Researchers engaged in open-ended conversation, asking relevant questions to gain insights in the organization operations, challenges, perspectives on the research topics.
Marcuso?
Yes.
This is a reminder for 8 minutes completion. You have 2 minutes to conclude. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I will go further. There were many other sources like observational physical artifacts. Some words about data analysis. We use systematic records approach to analyze and coding interviews, thematic analysis, pattern matching allowed uncover minimal insights and themes. And there is the results, what we gather. You can read the paper if you want to dig deeper on this, but there were many insights, informations here. Gather information of various channels, engaging discussion with experts, utilizing project and training, tracking analytics and reports, engaging networks and technology events, maintaining marketing plans, leveraging internal subject matter expertise. And there are second research question answered, and the third, and what are the challenges? I can say that, for example, fear was one challenge, that some enterprises fear to make decisions on their marketing activities. That was very interesting. And how to address challenges, they have increased resources and increased planning and creativity approach, customer-centric approach. We also analyzed the barriers types. We found social, cultural, technical, economic barriers, and regulatory institutional barriers. And what the conclusion findings emphasize the importance of staying informed and adapting changes in marketing landscape. And there are very many conclusions here. Some limitations, its specific geographical area include limited number of macro enterprise, and there is potential bias always to consider. And for further, 3 areas should be for further exploration, like comparative analysis on different sectors and new technologies such as artificial intelligence and virtual reality, and how they affect on marketing opportunities. Any questions? There are also reference.
You have analyzed the data from 6 to 7 entrepreneurs, right?
Yes, 6 micro enterprises. Yeah.
Whether they falls in the same category or they differ in the categories.
Can you repeat?
Whether they fall in a single category or they differ by the category wise, it's requirement wise.
I don't understand what the question exactly. Yeah.
So it is an entrepreneurship survey. So for that entrepreneurship survey, the marketing what you are leading to, whether the market falls in the same category or the market differs in different categories for all these 6 entrepreneurs.
All 6 was in working on a well-being sector. So there was some, for example, wellness centers and also physiotherapists and like other, but they mainly work on service industry in well-being sector. So they all were in same sector.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for question.
Thank you, Marcus, for presenting a good paper. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, sir, for presenting. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So I sincerely thank our authors for their excellent presentation in this session, and all our participants for being a part of this international conference. I hope this session was informative enough. We, on the behalf of the whole team, thank you for the support during this second version and the previous first version of the conference. We will be happy to have you in the third version in 2024 as well. All the presenters would be getting their digital certificate through email within 2 working days. Further, all the papers have already been forwarded to the Springer. The publication will be live within 6 months. So kindly cooperate with the team of ISBM 2023. I also thank our session chair, Dr. Nilesh P. Sable and Dr. Ritu Bhargav for chairing the session. Sir and ma'am, any closing remarks for this session?
It was really a great experience to hear from the research, which is upcoming research, which is going on. And we do have a learning from these sessions, like we are totally in the field of engineering and we have some of the papers which are related to the management itself. So that was a great experience from my side. Thank you and congratulations to all the authors, those who have presented the paper. and for GR Foundation for providing a forum for such technical events. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, I wanted to add the same thing. Only first, I would like to thank ISBM and JR Foundation for giving us the opportunity to listen all the good papers. All the authors have presented very nice papers. Especially, I like Dr. Shrikant's paper very much. I found it very interesting, and other papers are also because this is the exposure now, not only in engineering and management and in business fields also. So all the papers are really very interesting. I wish all the best to all the participants, and would like to continue with it in 2024 also. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir. Well, there's a token of appreciation for our chairs, and this is for Nilesh, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And this is for Ritu, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Shobit.
Thank you so much for being a part of this session. Also, I would request all the participants and all the presenters to kindly turn on our cameras for a quick snapshot. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you,
Have a
sir.
good
And thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.